read out. I will read out his brief biodata. So currently, Dr. Tushar is working as scientist, agriculture extension at ICR Atari, Pune since 2021. He has completed his masters from IRI New Delhi, and later he was selected at ARS in 2011. He has experience in technology dissemination through involvement in tribal subplan, national innovations in climate resilient agriculture, uh, cluster frontline demonstration on oilseeds, agri-drone project through KVKs. Also, he is involved in monitoring frontline extension work, organizing various HRD activities for KVKs of Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Goa at ICR Atari Pune through KVKs. And also, he has been associated with Network Research Project of Agriculture Extension Division of ICR, New Delhi on climate change, tribal area, and aspirational district projects. He successfully acted as nodal officer for doubling of farmers' income in Atari Pune, in which 8,500 farmers' success stories were documented and published by ICR. And also, he is a recipient of various fellowship. During his masters, he was awarded ICR's JRF in 2008 at IRI New Delhi, and in 2010, uh, IRI Fellowship for Doctor of Philosophy in Agriculture Extension. Then in 2011, he was also awarded UGC Fellowship in the subject of adult education, and also Netaji Subhas ICR International Fellowship for PhD. He has published papers in various national and international journals, and we are very fortunate to have us. And I feel privileged to make his introduction to the participants. I once again welcome all of you. And Tushar sir, uh, the floor is yours. You can start.
Thank you, Dr. Vasan. Uh, Dear colleagues, various participants, organizers, very good morning to all of you. I'm Tushar Atre, currently working as scientist at Atari Pune. So my topic of presentations will be cluster contained demonstration of oilseeds and what are the learnings from KVKs in Western Maharashtra, particularly Maharashtra and states of Maharashtra and Gujarat. So we'll go through what is Atari first. So there are 11 agriculture technology application research institutes, and they monitor and review various KVKs. 731 KVKs are located across India. Uh, these Ataris come under Agriculture Extension Division of ICR, which is headed by DDG Agriculture Extension. Previously, there were 8 Ataris, and in 2015, 3 more Ataris were sanctioned, and they started functioning in 2017. Among these 3, Pune Atari is also new one, and other 2 Ataris were Guwahati and Patna. When we see evaluation of this Atari or agriculture extension system, it started as a zonal coordination unit in 1979 at 8 locations. Then later on, it was upgraded to zonal project directorate in 2009, and in 2015, it was renamed and upgraded as an institute. This Agriculture Technology Application Research Institute. So our mandate is majorly coordination and monitoring of technology application and frontline extension education programs, strengthening agriculture extension research and knowledge management through activities like planning, monitoring, and review of KVK work, to prioritize various activities for technology integration and dissemination, coordination with various source organizations, and facilitating financial and infrastructure support to KVKs in the zone. We have 82 KVKs in 3 states, Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Goa. They are managed by various host organizations. Among them, ICR Institute have 4 KVKs, State Agriculture University have 38 KVKs, and non-governmental organization have 35 KVKs in our zone. Now we'll come to oilseeds. So oil seeds are cultivated around 30 million hectares area in India, majorly on rain-fed areas. That is around 69% of total area is in rain-fed. And the production of oilseed was 41.36 million tons in last year. When we see oilseeds, there are 9 major oilseeds which contributes to edible oil in our country. Among them, soybean, groundnut, rapeseed and mustard. Soybean, rapeseed and mustard, and groundnut in that order. They contribute to 90, around 90% of total oil production in the country. And these three crops also have a major area among themselves. When we see season-wise, so majority of the oilseed production is in Kharif season. More than 50% of oilseed is produced in Kharif season. Among area coverage, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and Maharashtra are major oilseed producing states, contributing to more than 75% of oilseed production in the country. So we are one of the major producer of oilseeds in the world. Though we come forth in oilseed production, but to meet our edible oil demand, we are dependent heavily on import. And this makes us the largest importer of edible oils in the country, in the world. Which oils we import? The palm oil is major. Among imported oil, around 59% is palm oil, then followed by soybean and sunflower. And import, we see import is growing rapidly during last decade. This is particularly is also related with oil consumption in India. As we are aware, due to rapid urbanization is increasing, income levels are increasing, and people are migrating to urban areas, and workforce participation is also increasing. So this has led to increased consumption of various fast foods, and these fast foods require edible oil. So edible oil consumption is increasing, and it is on increasing trend in future also. It is expected to increase as urbanization will increase, as eating habits of the people, disposable income is increasing in the hands of people. So oil consumption is expected to increase in coming decade. As we can see in 12-13, it was around 16 kg, and in year 2023, it has become increased to 23.50 kg per year per person. And if we see average of last 5 years, then it is around 20 kg per year per person. And when we see about oil consumption in India, so in 2020, 21, 22, around 25.75 million tons of oil has been consumed in India. Among for this oil consumption, we had to import more than 50% of the edible oil. That is 14.30 million tons of oil India had to import, contributing to taking our foreign currency, most of the foreign currency. So government has focused on increasing oilseed production in the country through oilseed cultivation by incentivizing farmers. We see increasing trend in area and more prominently in production in oilseeds. So when we see for last 12-13 years, we can see except from 2 to 3 years, it is on increasing trend. And latest for the year 2022-23, oilseeds are cultivated on 30 million hectare area with around 40 million tons of production. But when we see in terms of productivity is very low, around 1300 kg per hectare. And after 2022 to the oilseed production was little bit fallen, little bit decreased. So as we are dealing with three states, but Goa do not have major oilseed production. So we'll be going looking for data of states of Maharashtra and Gujarat particularly. Uh, when we see region-wise in Maharashtra, we can see Vidarbha region and Marathwada region are having major area under oilseed production in Maharashtra, whereas Khandesh region, Western Maharashtra, and Konkan region is very negligible. This coastal area along coastal line of Maharashtra, the area is very negligible. So major chunk of oil production is contributed by Western Maharashtra and Vidarbha region, the Marathwada region. When we see in terms of Gujarat, Saurashtra region is a major oilseed cultivating area, and then the Saurashtra region is followed by North region. For oilseed production, Maharashtra production, Vidarbha and Marathwada region are going neck to neck in some years, and in few years you can see majority of the contribution for oilseed was from Vidarbha region. Highest production of 27.68 lakh tons was in 2016-17 from Vidarbha region. In Gujarat, Saurashtra region, major oilseed cultivating region, saw decrease in production in the year 12-13. Whereas then during the year following favorable weather during 23-24, highest production was achieved, amounting to 53 lakh tons. While for area and production, major regions in Maharashtra are Vidarbha and Marathwada. But for productivity, Western Maharashtra is having good productivity. That is around 12 quintal, 12 to 17 quintal. And when we say in Vidarbha region, the productivity has been varying from 4 to 12, 14 quintal. Due to abnormal weather, it was 4 quintal, but around 10 quintal or 14, 15 quintal is average productivity in the Vidarbha region. For Kutch region of Gujarat, productivity is around between 13 to 14 quintal per hectare, whereas highest productivity is in Saurashtra region. So there were various schemes, oilseed oil farm, then that is again merged, and this is being implemented as NFSM. So the scheme have three components: NFSM oilseeds, NFSM oil palm, and it is being implemented through various state departments, also through ICR through KVKs. Major purpose of oilseed is NFSM oilseed is to increase the availability of edible oils through increased production and productivity. And ultimately, the aim is to reducing the import burden of the country to save our precious foreign exchange. So there are various strategies to be followed for this increased production, productivity, and reduced import of oilseed crops. So the focus is on horizontal and vertical expansion. In terms of area, it is horizontal, and for vertical, the aim is to increase the productivity of oilseed crops. Then focusing on areas such as rice fallows, then intercropping, then promoting crop diversification through oilseed cultivation. Also, for making available the seeds of newly developed varieties. Uh, Focus is being given on increasing seed production and making available newly released varieties of oilseeds through good distribution. Specific technologies are being focused, which are low cost there, but with high impact on productivity. And post production, there are also focus on entrepreneurship development, then through processing, which may generate good employment through the through youth in agriculture, rural youth. So the NFSM oilseeds is being implemented in 26 states and 3 UTs, with budget outlay of around 600 crores. The demonstrations are conducted at the farmers' field, and financial assistance is given in terms of for seed, for various critical inputs, and then demonstrations like frontline demonstrations, cluster frontline demonstrations, transfer of technology through block demonstrations, training component, capacity building of farmers and extension workers is also being focused. Uh, it is implemented through Department of Agriculture, and ICR is also involved through KVKs majorly for organizing cluster frontline demonstrations on oilseeds. The major interventions being focused for the year 2023-24 are around seed production of major oilseed crops, then distribution of certified seed, uh, demonstrations around on 3.40 lakh hectare areas. There is block demonstrations to be implemented through State Department of Agriculture, and then 0.65 lakh hectare frontline demonstrations. It is cluster frontline demonstrations through KVKs. And then it also has component of training farmers and extension officers, supply of soil ameliorants, supply of chemicals, then there is critical inputs other than seeds for 3.8 lakh hectare area, distribution of farming implements, distribution of sprinklers. An oilseed hub has also been established through various KVKs, some ICR institutes. The oilseed hubs, pulses seed hubs are also being implemented for complementing the uh, cluster frontline demonstrations and with the major focus of increasing oilseed production and productivity in the country. So there are guidelines for conducting safe, healthy cluster frontline demonstrations. So the district-specific technology modules should be selected for oilseed crops, and each cluster should be of 10 hectare with having at least 2 control plots. As the name suggests, the demonstrations has to be organized in cluster approach. So ICR has to made a provision of seeds of latest varieties, and critical inputs may be procured from market. The focus is being given on latest technologies. So in terms of varieties, the varieties that has to be taken for demonstration should not be older than 10 years. And then of the CFLD budget, around 10% funding is reserved for monitoring, distribution of literature, then organization of field day by KVKs. So these are cost norms for CFLD oil seeds. These have been approved recently from the ministry, and from current year or maybe from the next year, the budgetary provisions will be according to these cost of demonstrations. So majorly in groundnut area, the rates has almost been doubled. Groundnut farmers KVKs had been facing issues in case of groundnut crop for procuring seeds, for procuring critical inputs. Previously, it was around 12,000 rupees. CFLD project has been started since the year 2015-16 to demonstrate the newly released crop varieties and then other critical inputs. Along with seeds of newly introduced varieties, the other technological options include seed treatment, uh, biofertilizer application, integrated nutrient management, weed management, good irrigation practices, then sowing methods, line sowing, ridge and furrow method, BPF method as being followed in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and MP, some part of Andhra Pradesh. Pest management integrated approach has been recommended for pest management. While demonstrating the technologies, KVK scientists, KVK specialists have to analyze, study the factors which should be contributing to higher crop production in that particular district, in that particular cluster of demonstrations, and then production and feedback data has to be generated and maintained, and then various publications usually came out of these demonstrations at KVK level, at Atari level, and then at ICR level. Periodical report and bulletins are published. So KVK scientists are closely involved in conducting demonstrations, cluster frontline demonstrations at the farmers field. The provision is only for providing critical inputs. So remaining inputs can be asked can be purchased by the farmers from the market. Initially training are given by KVK to the farmers, and if farmers are convinced, they can apply other inputs also as suggested by KVK scientists through their own pocket. So major thrust areas are promotion of improved varieties, then soil conservation practices, soil moisture conservation practices are being promoted. Farm mechanization is broadbed and furrow ridge and furrow method. Integrated pest management practices are being promoted. Uh, and then for post-harvest processing and for employment generation, entrepreneurship development. So minimal processing of soybean, grading after harvesting, these things are also promoted through different components of the project. When we come to KVK, the focus is on integrated crop management, pest disease management, nutrient management, then seed treatment is being focused whenever possible, whenever required. Foliar applications of micronutrient mixtures are being promoted. So pheromone traps, yellow stick traps, these are part of IPM. Line sowing, mechanized method of sowing are being promoted. And in case of fallow crops, how residual moisture can be utilized, uh, that approach is being followed to promote oilseed cultivation in especially rice fallow areas. Though in our zone, in our jurisdiction of Maharashtra and Gujarat, the area of rice fallow area are not that significant. Coming to implementation process of frontline cluster frontline demonstrations. So planning and coordination, these are being done at KVK level for selection of farmers, then what are the timelines, how farmer will be trained, how resources to be allocated, which critical inputs has to be purchased. These are decided in consultation with farmers, cooperation by KVKs. Then right from the field preparation and sowing through crop management, farmers are being handholded by KVKs so that it is ensured that proper management practices are being followed by the farmers. So we get good results in terms of yields, in terms of productivity. Soil testing is being done in case for every cluster controlling demonstrations. And then there are monitoring and evaluation part. So monitoring and evaluation is done by university, ICR institutes, sometimes Atari. Then there are various directorates of ministry concerning to oilseed. Other directorates located at state level. Their team also monitors the project, and regular and close monitoring at important critical crop stages by KVK scientists is involved. And rather than it, also KVK scientists are in touch with farmers through various social media, through WhatsApp group, over the call, etc. For selecting oilseed varieties to be demonstrated in CFLD, the major criteria is this variety should be adaptable to local conditions, local resources, and they should be resilience to various climatic factors, soil conditions. In our zone, especially in Western India, in some part of rain-fed agriculture. So these factors are kept in mind so that among the available resources, or by utilizing the available resources, good yield potential can be obtained. The major focus while selecting the varieties are that. So that these varieties should perform at the farmers field, keeping in mind the resources available with the farmers, and also natural resources like rainfall and other soil conditions, etc. So disease resistance is also being kept in mind. Whether whenever the varieties are available which are less susceptible to uh, pests and diseases, so thereby reducing the need of chemical chemical consumption, pesticide consumption, and then that in turns leading to sustainable farming practices in oilseeds. So selected varieties yield is one of the major criteria. But apart from yield, as these are oilseed crops, focus is also given on the varieties which are good for oil content, which have good oil content, whether quality standards for edible oil can be maintained, and specifically they have good market demand, and they should give more net income, more profits to the farmers. So keeping these plethora of factors in mind, at district level, at KVK level, varieties are selected in consultation with farmers, also availability of seeds and other factors. So I'm just giving few examples of the varieties which have been undertaken in demonstrations by KVKs both in Maharashtra and Gujarat. You can see their names on the screen. So groundnut is major crop in Gujarat. Is also cultivated in summer season in part of Konkan. Sesame crop, especially in parts of Vidarbha, in Kharif season, as well as in some region, the crop is also taken by farmers during summer. Soybean is a major crop in Maharashtra, followed by Madhya Pradesh, majorly followed by Maharashtra. In some parts of Gujarat also, soybean is cultivated, and soybean is also undertaken by KVKs of both Maharashtra and Gujarat. Castor is majorly undertaken by Gujarat KVKs. Also, few KVKs, uh, Baramati KVK have recently also undertaken demonstrations in castor crops. Linseed, rapeseed, mustard, and safflower. Though these are not major crops in our zone, more major crops are soybean, groundnut, and castor. But demonstrations are also being undertaken by selected KVKs. in these all these crops. In our zone, soybean, Niger system, mustard, linseed, groundnut, sunflower are being demonstrated. And out of 82 KVKs, 74 KVKs are implementing this program in both Kharif, Rabi, and summer season. We have demonstrations encompassing these three seasons. And during the last year, current year 23, 24, 24, 25, they started recently Kharif. But during last year, 6,500 demonstrations were conducted. Uh, Among them, major demonstrations were in Kharif, followed by Rabi, and then 710-hectare area under the summer season was demonstrated in various oil crops. We have taken data from 2017, 18, because our Atari started functioning in 2017, in 2017, April 2017. Though this program has been started from 2015, 16. So when we see Maharashtra, groundnut and soybean are major crops. So around 2,000 demonstrations are being conducted on an average in groundnut, and around 1,600, 700, 800 demonstrations are being conducted in groundnut crop. Sesame, linseed, safflower, we see area around between 100 to 200. Though for safflower, last year area has been increased significantly, around 650 demonstrations. Mustard area is very less. Sunflower, Niger, castor, this has been taken only during last year by KVKs in Maharashtra. When we say, when we look at the demonstrations under CFLA in Gujarat state, what we see that groundnut is major crop in Gujarat, and it is also evident in number of demonstrations conducted in CFLD project under the NFSM. So groundnut is a major crop, followed by castor. Then in soybean is also contributing significantly, one of the few major crops. We can see crop numbers are less, but the soybean system, mustard, they are having a good number of demonstrations spread across various districts. So total demonstrations, around 4,000 demonstrations are being conducted yearly in Maharashtra, uh, whereas the number was around 4,000 in 2017-18 in Gujarat, but currently the number has been reduced. We see region-wise demonstrations in Maharashtra. So Vidarbha region is again highest in conducting demonstrations, in organizing demonstrations in oilseed crops. Vidarbha region is being followed by Marathwada region, then Khandesh region, part of North Maharashtra, and then Western Maharashtra. So area is fluctuating. Number of demonstrations are fluctuating. And when we see Konkan, we see very few number of demonstrations in Konkan region of Maharashtra. So we see Vidarbha is around, sometimes it reached around 43% of total demonstrations in Maharashtra. Then Marathwada is also about 35 to from 20 to 30%, and then other regions have low contributions around 10 to 15%. In total demonstrations, total number of demonstrations conducted in cluster frontline demonstrations under through KVKs. And now we'll be seeing demonstrations for major crops. So for groundnut, Marathon demonstrations were highest initially for 17, 18, 18, 19. Then it has been reduced drastically to around 150, 100 to 150 for 2021 to 23-24. Whereas Marathwada region has a highest share in total number of demonstrations. In 20, in first year 17, 18, it was around 43%. Then gradually it decreased, or the other zones have increased their area, the other zones. And when we see in 2023-24, Marathwada has around 18% demonstrations of ground. For soybean crops, the number of demonstrations are ranging from 1800 to 2100, from 1718 to 2324. And when we see in terms of groundnut, it was the Marathwada region. For soybean, Vidarbha region has been conducting highest demonstrations for overall as compared to other regions in Maharashtra. So consistently around 40%, sometimes 35 to 36% of the area is being under soybean crop demonstrations in Vidarbha. We see here the number of demonstrations are highest, share is highest in 2021, and then it has been somewhat lower in 21-22, and then Khandesh region, Maharashtra region are also cultivating soybean. For groundnut, we had some demonstrations in Konkan region, but soybean is not cultivated in Konkan region. Demonstrations are not taken up in Konkan region due to very high rainfall in the region. So we had looked for number of demonstrations in Maharashtra, and then again the major crops, crop-wise demonstrations in Maharashtra. Now we'll come to Gujarat. Total number of demonstrations, so around from 4,000 to 2,000. You can see variations. The number of demonstrations has decreased from 4,000 in 2017-18 to around 2,000 in 2023-24 last year. So Central Gujarat region and then Saurashtra region, these two regions, for most of the duration, these two regions are major contributors for number of demonstrations. In Central region, we can see consistently it is the highest, but Saurashtra region during last 2-3 years, the number of demonstrations has been decreasing. So around 1/3 share for total demonstrations of CFL oilseeds is being contributed by Central region in Gujarat. Groundnut is a major oilseed crop in the state of Gujarat. So it has around 1,500 demonstrations. Then the number has been halved in 2023-24 to 845 demonstrations. But overall, when we see the pattern, Saurashtra region is been being consistently at the top position for conducting number of demonstrations in groundnut, then followed by North region, then Central region has also caught up in between. And for 2022, 23 and 23-24, the Central region has gone from third number to second number in conducting demonstrations in count. So we see here Saurashtra region share has been continuously higher, and Central region share initially it is low, but during later years the share has been increased. And Kutch region share is minimal, though it is fluctuating, but it is still minimal, all over the period of the time. For sesame crop, The demonstrations are varying from 300 to 800. Saurashtra region, in case of sesame crop, has highest demonstrations. So major share is among in groundnut. So sesame obviously has a lower number of demonstrations. And when we see for sesame crop, Saurashtra region is almost dominating. More than 60% of demonstrations are being conducted in Saurashtra regions. If you can look at cursor, you can see uh, only in 2023 Kutch region share has been increased. Otherwise, it's mostly all the way Saurashtra region. When we see the outcomes of these demonstrations, we see the yield has been increased. Yield improvement has been reported in various oilseed crops, ranging from 15% to 13%, 15% to 30% over the farmers' practices. Uh, this is showcasing the effectiveness of technological interventions and impact of KVK practices, KVK demonstrations, closely monitored demonstrations of KVKs. And the demonstrations have also led to adoption of new varieties, new package of practices by farmers in the demonstration villages and nearby villages. And then horizontal expansion has happened for few technologies, for some varieties, for sowing practices like broadband and furrow. And the productivity, except for few years due to some climatic factors, productivity has been reduced. Otherwise, the productivity is showing increasing trend. So overall, the cluster Frontline demonstration oilseed project is having good impact on farmers' field, on production of oilseeds, and then also improving the productivity. We'll look for few success stories, few cases from various KVKs. For soybean crop, KVK Washim has demonstrated KDS 726 varieties against the JS 335 varieties as followed by farmers. This variety has good yield potential, and also uh, it is susceptibility is low to stem fly pest. Along with seed treatment has been given, then biofertilizer culture dressing, various post emergency weed controls, pesticide spraying has been followed along with fungicide spray, which has resulted in very good yield, almost 40% higher yield than the yield of farmer variety has been observed, has been recorded for this uh, soybean variety. And farmer has got around 90,000 net returns with a benefit cost ratio of 2.83. These returns were 63% additional, 63% higher as compared to the farmers' practices. Farmers also like the bold seeds of this variety, and this resistant to stem fly. So uh, they found it more superior as compared to JS335 variety. For sesame crop, GT5 variety has been taken up for demonstrations. Then, along with various interventions like sulfur, NPK, micromix 250 gram. So this variety also gave a higher yield, also under heavy rainfall conditions. Then spray of sulfur at seed formation stage has helped to improve the seed quality as well as size and oil percentage, which has also resulted in farmers getting the higher market value for the variety. To address nutritional deficiency, a spray of micromix and NPK consortium has helped, and farmer got a yield of around 7.30 quintal per hectare, which was significantly higher than the local variety. In case of local variety, yield of 5.20 quintal was obtained by the farmer, and around 1 lakh of net profit has been obtained by the farmers in case of this variety. The success story for groundnut is from Palghar KVK, especially for summer groundnut. So the cropping pattern is monocropping of rice in Kharif season, and then vegetables under in sporadic area are taken in Rabi season. So in KVK introduced this variety, this summer crop under safe demonstrations. Technological interventions were broad-based furrow method of sowing, then variety, integrated nutrient management practices, weed management also was followed or done by KVK. So this is interesting. This has also resulted as this was new introduction of new crops, especially in summer season. So farmers also received good returns, good yield, but it has also resulted in stopping the migration for employment during summer season in case of Palghar district. So yield has been increased from 13 to 28 quintal, and additional net income of 80,000 has been obtained by the farmers. For castor crop, we'll see success of Mehsana KVK. So they demonstrated the seed variety GCH8, then sulfur, NPK consortia, then other technological inputs. Training has been provided to farmers, demonstrations has been conducted, then continuous support to the farmers by KVK's organization of field days at important crop stages, which has led to higher yield, improved grain quality, and the pest and diseases has been managed efficiently with eco-friendly approach. Farmers found this variety suitable in their farming conditions, and as compared to other varieties, they have preferred these varieties, and yield we can see they were getting 31 quintal yield, and then around 44% yield increase has been obtained with additional net income of 83,000 rupees. So this was all. I would like to thank you all for your patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you. Vasul
Uh,
sir.
Participants, any questions for Tushar sir? Please unmute.